In this video, we're gonna go over 10 things you should know about buying a new construction home before you step into the model home. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so if you are looking to move to the area, my name is Ricardo Diaz. I am a local realtor here in the Frederick area, and I like to do these videos about all things Frederick, whether it's working, eating, sleeping, playing, the good and the bad, I cover it all. Also too, if a move to Frederick is in store for you this year, be sure to go ahead, shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a shout, even send me a carrier pigeon if you need to. I am constantly getting phone calls day and night from people just like you looking to move to the area, and I absolutely love helping them. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the top 10 things you should know about new construction. So number one being the elephant in the room, why should I use a realtor for new construction home? It seems like it's a piece of cake. All I have to do is go in there, tell them what I want, and they build it for me. Well, in reality, it may seem like that, but it's far different. Now, when it comes to it, as a realtor, my job is to represent you as a fiduciary in a real estate transaction, whether it be a new purchase or a resale. With that being said, when you go into a new construction contract and you don't have representation, technically the sales rep doesn't represent you. Their best interest is in that of the company they work for, which is looking to go ahead and profit off of you. So if something happens, it's gonna be you versus them. If something happens and we have a realtor, I am there to help negotiate on your behalf. Now with that being said, even if they don't try to strong arm you on anything, it is my job to explain to you what's going on as we go throughout the process and just to make things a lot easier. Number two you should know is that the builder is going to dictate the earnest money deposit. Now you might be saying, what the heck is an EMD or an earnest money deposit? In a real estate transaction, an earnest money deposit is a sign of good faith to the sellers that you are going to be honest throughout the transaction and see it to the end. Also too, if we are ever in default of the contract, it acts as reimbursing the sellers for damages they incurred. Now, with that being said, on a resale, it can be anywhere from 1% to 3% of the purchase price. However, with a new construction build, it is going to be whatever the builder dictates. It could be anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000, maybe even $20,000. Which can be a lot of money if you weren't planning to put a whole lot down, say with a USDA 0% down or with a VA loan. Number three, what you should know is that in a new construction transaction, the buyer is going to pay all of the transfer and recordation taxes. Now you might be thinking, what's that? That is another way for the county to go ahead and profit off of a real estate transaction. And in the state of Maryland, we have to pay a 0.5% transfer tax. And luckily in Frederick County, we don't have to pay a county transfer tax. Now there is a recordation tax in Frederick County, and that's gonna be $14 per thousand. Now let's say we're buying a $500,000 house. The transfer tax would cost us $2,500 and the recordation tax would cost us $7,000. With that being said, on a new construction home, that would put $9,000 added to your closing costs. Whereas on maybe a resale home in a newer neighborhood or on a house that might be 1 or 2 years old, we could go ahead and have that split equally by the buyer and seller, as is customary in the state of Maryland. Number four, this is one thing a lot of people don't really consider when they're looking for a new construction, is what we call a front foot fee. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is that? We also see it on the resale side too, but basically what a front foot fee is you reimbursing the sellers for bringing the utilities to the neighborhood. Now you might be thinking, why on earth would I pay that? Historically, you used to do it through property taxes via deferred water and sewer charges that you would see on your tax bill. However, if the city or county decides not to bring the utilities to the area, then it falls on the builder to go ahead and do so. What they do is they calculate the cost of what it would take to give everybody in the neighborhood water, sewer, and utilities, and then they divide that by the number of homes that they build. Then that is going to go ahead and determine your yearly front foot fee, what you can pay for anywhere from 20 up to 40 years on the very high end. Now, if we're looking for a resale, it's also something to consider in a newer neighborhood as well. The front foot fee follows the house, not the owner. So if you buy a home that may be 10 years old, you can still have 10 years left of a front foot fee to go ahead and pay on. Number 5, this has been very important, especially in the last year, with builder price increases. Basically, when you build a new home, the builder is going to go ahead and charge the next homeowner more money based on the popularity of their community. Now, this is important when looking in older neighborhoods, and the reason being that you just got to think of it like this is the person who was bought there before you did potentially paid less than what you are paying right now for that home. Now, the reverse side, if we can find a resale on there that may be 1 or 2 years older, you may be able to get it for a little bit less than what you would get a new construction home built for, and you can settle on it sooner as well. Number 6, this comes down to the different types of builders and how they work. So in Frederick, we have a lot of production-based builders where basically they aren't going to go ahead and build a home until it is sold. You go to a model home, they show you the various floor plans, and then you ultimately work with the sales rep and myself to go ahead and get you your next home under contract. From there, they go ahead and build it. Now, what's nice about the production builders is that they have packaged some things down into groups where group 1 gets you this color granite, group 2 gets you that. This is where we start to see the price really go up. Now, what you'll see going into the neighborhood is probably a lovely sign that says from the upper 300s or 400s. And then when you get in there, they start adding the different packages on. Now, the package will include everything: carpet, trim, cabinets, granite countertops, you name it, but the price of that is typically pretty high. In some cases can be as high as $70,000 to $80,000. And that doesn't include the lot premium if it's a single family home that may be in a cul-de-sac or has a desirable view. Another type of builder that we have here in Frederick County are what we call spec builders. Now, I like these builders because they're a little bit more honest, in my opinion, of pricing, because what they do is they actually build the house before it sells, and they count on their sales reps being able to sell it to people as they are looking to move into the neighborhood. Now, with spec builders, they're already built, so what you'll see is what you get in the model home. If you want one package, then typically you have to go and settle with one that's already being built in a certain area of the neighborhood. The nice thing about it is that when you go in there, it's not like a matter of how quickly will your bill go up. Here's the price, here's what you pay, so on and so forth. And lastly, we also are going to have custom home builders here in the Frederick area as well. If you have any questions about custom home builders, feel free to give me a call. I'd be more than happy to go over those with you as well. Number 7, now a sales rep will tell you you never need to do this, but I always tell my clients to go ahead and do so. Get a home inspection on a new construction build. Reason being is because at the end of the day, when it comes to it, humans make mistakes. I make mistakes at my job. I'm sure you make mistakes at yours. Nobody's perfect, right? As are the people building these houses. Now, a sales rep will tell you, look, you don't really need it. It meets the code. But an inspector goes in there and they actually check a lot of things that a county inspector isn't going to go ahead and check. Now this leads me into number 8, and I always tell my buyers to ask yourself this question: how long do I see myself being in this next home? Reason I say that is because on average, your first time home buyer is going to be in their home for the first 3 to 5 years before they're looking to move on to their second home. And this is going to lead me into number 9, which is going to be the value of the home versus the cost of options you are looking to put into the home. The reason I say this is because we go into it trying to make it look like a mansion. You just want to make sure that when you go to sell it, you get the value of the options you picked to make your home look more beautiful. I have seen this happen a couple times where people go ahead and they pick out $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 kitchens and they get all these custom bump outs put in, but then nobody else in the neighborhood goes ahead and does so. And when other people start selling their homes, it actually lowers the value of their homes because the comparable sales that the appraisers use to value the homes shows a lesser price. And last but not least is going to be number 10, and that is going to be wait time. Now, on average, in a normal market, it is about 6 months from when you actually write the contract, when you take delivery. However, last year, due to COVID and supply chain shortages, there are some builders that are still delivering houses anywhere from 12 to 18 months down the line. So what you need to ask yourself is, how quickly do I need to be in the Frederick area, and do I have enough time to do a new construction build? And that's going to go ahead and sum it up for building a new construction home in Frederick County. Of course, if you are looking to go ahead and move to the Frederick area and build your first home or build a home in general, be sure to go ahead, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. Also, be sure to go ahead, click in the bio, and schedule your free home buying consultation to actually develop a plan, meet with me, and get you guys to the Frederick area. Thanks, and have a great one.